Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. On today's show, did LeBron move to LA just to be a Hollywood superstar? Plus, Eddie House joins the show to discuss Charles Barkley taking shots at Kevin Durant. And could Ezekiel Elliott be primed for an MVP-like season with the Cowboys? Skip Shannon, let's go.
So LeBron's decision to bring his talents to LA has been the story of the summer. On the court, he insists the Lakers are not rebuilding. And off the court, LeBron has turned heads by dining with A-listers like Leonardo DiCaprio and booking movie and TV deals for his production company. And now, TNT's Charles Barkley weighed in on LeBron's decision. He told Sports Illustrated, quote, "I look at the move to LA strictly as a business decision. He's on the downside of his career, and he wants to be a big Hollywood mogul. He's going to be driving by the beach every day, insisting that he's over the snow. The Lakers are not even close to a top-tier team. They're a 5 or 6 seed in a best-case scenario." Good morning, Eddie House.
Good morning. Eddie House.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
do you agree
Eddie, way to go.
with anything that Barkley is saying?
I agree with the fact that he moved here looking forward to the end of his career and planning for that, trying to get ahead of that. But I don't think that he moved here strictly for being a Hollywood mogul. I don't think that at all. He again, I said this on Speak yesterday, he's a basketball player. That's what he loves to do. He loves the game. He's entrenched in the game. He surrounds himself with the game. And so that's first priority. Why you can multitask, and that's what he's doing. While he's playing the game that he loves, basketball, on the flip side of that, he's also wiggling into moving on to post-career, new career. So I don't see anything. Yeah, slowly getting in, but not slowly. He putting his foot in the door, really, to be honest with you. He putting his foot in, he ain't taking no time, but that's what he's doing. He's planning for his future. And I don't see anything wrong with it, to be honest with you. And a 5 to 6 seed, I said this yesterday, I got them between 3 and 5. They could be a 50-win team yesterday. Automatically, with LeBron coming, you got to give them 10 more wins. And with the addition of Rondo, Lance Stevenson, some toughness like that, I think you could squeeze out another 5 wins, get them 50, and I got them at the 3rd slot.
You know what? LeBron James put old Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless came to L.A. to show that he could gain traction here. Be by the beach and could have a #1 talk show in L.A. He could have stayed put and stayed the status quo. But that old
time out. Is undisputed not my solitary sole focus in my life? Do I not live and breathe and eat and sleep only Undisputed?
That's all you do.
Do I have any other projects on tap, on the front or back burner? I have none.
I don't know.
None.
You might have been, all I know, you might have been at Aubrey with old DiCaprio.
Aubrey, you sound like Jed Clampett.
Yeah, you might have been.
Be there.
All I know is Skip Bayless. I don't be seeing you. I don't see no sign of Skip Bayless until first thing bright and early, 4:05 a.m. So something might be going on. The problem that I have with Charles is that he's speaking out of 2 sides of his mouth. He said in 2017 that LeBron didn't like competition. He wanted all the good players. Don't you want to compete? Now he goes to a team. He didn't join a super team. Now he don't want to compete. He just want to be a Hollywood mogul. Well, damn, if he link up with a super team, he joins Golden State. That's bad. He joins the Rockets. That's bad. He joins Philly. That's bad. Join Boston. That's bad. He joins a team. They have some talented players. They haven't reached their potential yet. Now that's a problem. So what is he to do? Why does everyone want to control LeBron James' career in life? Oh, stay here. No, go there. Stay here. Do this. This is what I would have done. When you had your opportunity to do what you wanted to do like LeBron James, you should have done it. But what they resent is the power that he has. And no one has had it. And he has no problem throwing his weight around. And guess what? That rubs some people the wrong way. And I think it's rubbed Mr. Barkley the wrong way. Got no problem with his critique. If you want to critique LeBron, but you can't speak out of both sides, says the man, he wants all the best players, he doesn't want competition, and then he go joins the Lakers and says, oh, all he wants to do is not be a Hollywood guy. Come on now.
All I know for sure is I am no longer the world's biggest LeBron hater. Charles Barkley has superseded me.
No.
He has taken that over. You don't think so?
No way.
Did you read these quotes?
No way.
Man, I love me some Charles Barkley.
No, you don't.
Now we do.
He hates him some me. He has been all over me for years on all sorts of national TV and radio shows, and I no longer care because he is spitting truth about LeBron James. He's basically saying what I said the day after he joined the Lakers. I told you he came to L.A. in part, I think in large part, to segue into Hollywood. Now, I can't blame him for that, but he wants to take 1 year off so that he can reach his tentacles out into Hollywood and have more time. He's going to split time with the Lakers and Hollywood.
No, yeah, stop, Skip, saying that. That's not true.
Time off.
Did he have a contingency plan? Did he have a Paul George plan? Nope. Did he have a Kawhi plan? He did not. He came here solo. He's going to be the solo act with the Los Angeles Lakers.
But had he
could attract some co-stars, though. You know, if you got a chance
after next year.
If you hear Robert De Niro's on a movie, you're going to sign up for it.
But let me ask you a question, Skip. Let me ask you a question. Let's just say for the sake of argument, LeBron comes, and KD and say they were able to trade for Kawhi. Let's just say for the sake of argument, KD joined him this year. What would Charles Barkley have said? Would he have said he just come to be a Hollywood mogul?
Charles Barkley has made it clear both times, back in 2010 and now in 2018, he should have stayed home in Cleveland. Both times he said it, and go ahead and win the East and take his chances against Golden State. If you're the greatest player ever, if you are the GOAT, as Shannon Sharpe or LaShannon Sharpe says, then you should be able to take on Golden State as you continue to upgrade your roster. You could have added Rondo in Cleveland, Lance in Cleveland.
Skip, you and
Beasley,
Well, it would be the same thing. They just got a Cavs jersey instead of a Lakers jersey.
Okay.
I'd much rather be with that roster, live in L.A. and have all the opportunities to segue into my post-basketball career and my new career.
Let me
in
ask you a
Hollywood.
question. Do you believe LeBron's old starting five in Cleveland are better than his new starting five will be in L.A.?
Yep, I do.
I don't.
I don't know. I like the young talent in L.A. over the talent that they
How's
have.
the young talent going to get to play in L.A.? And again,
Well,
Charles said what
that's
I've
Luke
said.
Walton's problem.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
he
Luke
said,
Walton's problem to try to figure that out.
This is Charles Barkley. That's an impossible scenario for Luke Walton.
It's going to be tough.
It's very. I told you guys.
It's going to be tough because it's like sizes. That's the thing. Where do you play everybody? JaVale McGee probably going to start, like you said yesterday.
Yeah.
Couple minutes here and there. Then you got to move somebody to the 5. LeBron's going to be at the 5 some. I think Beasley will be at the 5 some. You can maybe play Kuz at the 5. They're going to play small, and I think that's the thing that's happening now. The copycat league, we looked at these finals. You see how everybody was switching. And Houston, they were switching, and they were, this might be the way to beat the Golden State Warriors, have like sizes. So that's the reason why
Okay, so
teams
you
are
think
starting
they
to
can beat Golden State?
No, I didn't say that. I said they have light sizes, so they're trying to plan. They're planning on trying to beat it.
Would you like to coach this team? Because I don't think you would.
Yeah, I would like to get over there and slide up and down and coach the OK. Yeah, put on some loafers and slide up and down the sideline. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, because you'd have Rondo all over you after the game.
No, that's
or you
that's
might
my
have
partner.
Lance in your ear after the game.
Rondo's
or
my partner.
You'll have
we
Kuzma in your ear.
we see eye to eye.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
You
I wouldn't
realize
have a
there's
problem with
one
that.
basketball and there's 48 minutes, and it's just hard, man.
Earn your minutes.
Earn your minutes.
Earn them.
Yeah. So you're going to sit Lonzo for what's he going to get to play? 10 minutes?
Well, hold on. If Lonzo is transcendent, like you say, it should be a breeze to beat Rondo. That should be no. That's what you say.
Why would you sign a Rondo who's never been a backup in his life? Really?
Well, if Rondo's that guy, let me ask you a question. What guy do you think could have beat Magic out? What point guard could they have signed? Could they have signed Isaiah? Could they have signed John Stockton? Name the point guard they could have signed when Magic Johnson was in his prime. They could have beat him out for the point guard.
They wouldn't have offended him.
That lets you. So what they telling you? What is Magic Johnson telling you?
I don't know.
You do know.
You do. You're on your way out.
You do know.
Traded.
I think he put pressure on Zoe. He had a decent year last year, but I'm not sure if it definitely wasn't where everybody was expecting it to be. His shooting ability went down from college to the pros. His free throw went down. I think his decision-making still was good. I think this is pressure that's getting put on Zoe to either raise your game or we can move away from you. And you bring Rondo in to teach him, sit him down and teach him how to watch film, how to understand games. Because Rondo has a high basketball IQ. But I want to get to the point where you think that he's going to take a year off, LeBron taking it. How, if you are the best player in the world, there's no way you could take a game off. Every team in the NBA
no pressure, no expectation.
They game plan for you.
Even LaShannon Sharpe is not picking the Lakers to win the West. I don't know why.
What does that mean?
Speaking of both sides of your mouth, he's the greatest player ever, but what?
So
Can't win the
Jordan
West.
didn't win the East every single year.
Well, yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Get out of here, man.
Once he got going.
Get out of here.
Stop.
Well, LeBron won the East, what,
Eight
nine
straight
times?
times.
So
Nine
once he got started, he did the same thing,
Same
right?
thing.
How many finals did?
See, now
here
you
we
changed
go.
it again. Now you
You
changed
flipping
it.
from conference to finals.
You can't
No, but you
compete with
can't
it.
keep on
It's game
taking
over.
steps. You can't say one
okay.
thing and then switch. You talking out of both sides of your mouth.
No, I am not. I'm talking out of Charles' mouth right now
Conference
because he's saying
finals.
nothing but truth. And you know what? I got to give Charles credit for this. It started in 2010. He called it a punk move when LeBron first left Cleveland to take his talents to South Beach. He called the decision a punk move. He called that pep rally at American Airlines with Dwayne and Chris Bosh and LeBron.
That was
not
kinda-
5, not 6, not 7.
That was a little
punk
corny.
move.
Okay,
you,
yeah,
you were there.
okay.
I wasn't at the
I know,
pep
but
rally.
you were on the
Okay,
team.
That was a little
okay.
corny,
The pep rally was over the top.
Yeah,
that
that was a
shouldn't
little
have
corny.
happened. But
Okay, then LeBron, we're going all the way to 2017. We were at the Super Bowl. And all of a sudden, LeBron, after a loss, they kind of hit bottom in New Orleans in January of that year, says, we are top heavy as you know what. And he just rips and blasts the rest of the roster. So it's Kyrie, Kevin Love, and I, and we got nothing else. We need help.
He wasn't lying.
Okay? He wasn't lying, and you're going to say that to the rest of your roster? And Charles Barkley, to his credit, stepped right up on TNT the next night and said, that's whiny. That's inappropriate on LeBron's part.
does he want all the best players? Does he not want to compete? Now he goes to the Lakers and he doesn't have the best players. And now what?
He don't want the best players. He just wants the players to be the best player that they can be. You know, he don't need the best player. He need everybody to do their job and be the best that they can be.
So then LeBron lured himself to fire back at Charles by going Wikipedia on Charles Barkley. And he starts listing all the incidents Charles has been in as he tries to kill the messenger. He can't discount or discredit the message or argue out of the message. He starts saying, yeah, I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had an unpaid debt in Vegas. And it goes on and on. It's like he read his
low
Wikipedia.
blows.
Yeah,
That's what you call low blows.
Okay,
Right?
well, he
Sometimes you
did.
got to throw
Yeah,
ref
he came
punches.
with the,
Yeah, you got to.
Oh,
Get him
you
up
got
off
to.
you.
Get
Get him up off you.
Keep him up, ref.
And LeBron said there's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah.
It's not Charles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All I'm saying is that Charles didn't finish his career in Philly because he didn't think he could win a championship, so he has to be moved to Phoenix. And then when he couldn't,
Don't kill the messenger. It's not about his career. It's about LeBron.
I'm talking about the hypocrisy.
There's no hypocrisy of it.
If you do the same thing that you're accusing LeBron James of doing.
Did Charles ever say he was better than LeBron James? I think not.
No, Skip, just because you're not saying you're better than somebody doesn't mean hypocrisy. We just talked about Jerry. Jerry said he wants you to toe the line, but when the national anthem is playing, he has his hat on. That's hypocrisy.
That's hypocrisy.
Okay,
Yes,
Charles Barkley leaving Philly to go to Phoenix to try to win a title. That's hypocrisy. Him going to join Hakeem Olajuwon and Scottie Pippen in Houston. That's hypocrisy.
He wasn't LeBron. He wasn't as good as LeBron.
So
and
what-
plus, he's stuck in an age with Michael
Let me
Jordan.
ask you a question. So what was he trying to do? Was he just going for the weather in Phoenix?
He's ring chasing.
So what was he
Sure he is.
Okay.
No,
Who
he's
doesn't
just,
start ring chasing?
just trying to survive against Michael Jordan, and
when
it's
you-
hard.
What
You
Michael
get to
Jordan
a
wasn't
certain
defeated.
point.
You are ring
He
chasing.
Did he
When you
not
get to
get
a
to a
certain point in your
finals?
career.
He got to a final. Then what happened?
All I'm saying,
Michael happened.
Skip, all I'm saying is that what he accused LeBron of doing, he did it. Granted, he wouldn't join the Keem. He wouldn't join Scottie Pippen. Even if they were not in their prime, he wouldn't join them for a reason. He didn't go down to be a retirement home with them.
He thought they was going to win one.
If
Thank you.
LeBron had
Same
stayed
thing
in
Karl Malone
Cleveland, would they not be the favorite to win the East next year? Yes, they would be.
LeBron says, I want a new challenge.
I don't know. I think Boston might
No,
still
no,
be
they
the
would be
favorite.
the favorite.
Boston has a better
Bron
roster
says, I
than
want a
them.
new challenge. Bron says, I want to mess with the West. That's what he wants to do.
He's going to get messed with.
You won't bet nothing.
I think he'll eat the West
I bet
up.
you 5 cases. I told you, they're going to struggle to be the 8th
I
seed.
think
I'm
he-
giving them the 8th
no way.
seed. You know what? I just read, there was a big poll on ESPN.com. All their experts weighed in, and it's like 50-50 whether LeBron and company will even make the playoffs
They
next year.
crazy.
They're crazy.
Yeah?
They crazy.
Oh,
You
okay.
just not
Yeah.
just draw a line through their comments.
Already.
Uh-oh.
54 wins. Don't worry about what this is.
Early.
I already know what's going to happen. Brown bottle it. Early in the morning.
Man, you
Way too
guys
early.
are underestimating what's going to happen.
I think he's
that
going.
traffic jam down at the 7-8 seed, it's going to be unbelievable.
He's not going to be there.
You know what, Coach?
And by the
knows
way,
that.
did you see what also Charles said about my Spurs? He said Jakob Poeltl is the most underrated player in the NBA.
Do you believe that?
No.
I don't know.
So why we
Mr.
listen to
Toronto.
quoting everything he said?
Exactly
Like it's
like the
gospel.
gospel.
You know what I mean?
You don't think the Spurs are going to be vying?
They're
down
going to be
there?
good.
I think the Spurs are going to be good, and I really like DeMar DeRozan going there. I think it's going to help him a whole lot.
There's another team you got to deal with.
You know, Kobe lives in Newport, right? The traffic is terrible.
Well,
he never had to worry about traffic because he had a helicopter.
Yeah.
That's the helicopter right there. He fly above that 4, 5, 6 seed.
Look, I think the tear the West up. I think he'll have a real good season this year.
What did you just say? He's going to tear the
Tear
it
the
up.
West up.
He gonna be the MVP.
He been doing it though. You act like he's going to the West, and all of a sudden it's like, damn, he ain't never played him. He been playing the West and been putting the foot up there.
What do you got? Between 45 and 60 wins?
No.
Like
I got
somewhere
him
between 45.
I got him between like 47 and 50, 51.
We're getting closer to
Oh,
that
now
number.
you kind of like.
Yeah, no, I
squeezed
said
it
the
in.
third slot. Look, 50 wins get you the third slot.
Oh, okay.
But I already got something. Look what I said.
That's what I got.
What I told him about him.
3 to 5.
I wrote this down at the very beginning. Both you and Charles are haters.
Both of us are haters?
Yes, you and Charles.
He is the bigger hater.
I don't know. Yeah, it's close though.
Yeah. You think I got him still? I hope so.
Where
I
your
hope
bottom?
so too. I don't know. Charles
I think
Barkley
you still
though.
got him.
Look what I got though.
All I know-
I would be celebrating. Put that over there.
No,
I don't know
celebrating.
I don't know what has happened to this man, but he has turned into Le Eddie.
No, I haven't. I'm just
Eddie and
no,
LeShannon.
we're
I don't know
not.
what
But
happened
we're
to
not
you.
talking about Jordan or
How
LeBron.
did
We're
he
just talking
get
about
to you?
LeBron.
Who got to you?
Nobody
What
got to
happened?
me. You
Somebody-
asked me
Eddie
a
just call
question.
it like it is.
Exactly. Remember I told you yesterday I'm keeping it 100
100.
all the way. Not 1,000 now.
I think you've been hanging out in Brentwood at one of those houses.
No, I damn sure wish I was. I know you got a good chef over there, some good food going.
Skip, all we're saying is the man came out here gonna do work, gonna be in the All-Star
He's
game.
going to do dual work.
He ain't doing no do. Stop
What do you
it.
think? What do you think he's
He's
gonna do
got
this
like
year?
4 movie projects on the front.
Let me
burner.
ask you, what do you think how his season gonna finish? The regular season, what his numbers gonna look like to you? What do you
He's going to
think?
win the MVP. I already predicted it. He'll be the MVP.
How you gonna
So
win
then
the
that
MVP?
means
Wait a
without
second.
tearing up the West.
I'm already on record. They're going to be the 8th seed, and they will get swept again by Golden
can't
State,
be-
except this will be in the first round.
You can't be the 8th seed and win the MVP.
Huh? Yes, you can.
Russell
He can.
Did Westbrook do it
Westbrook
last-
was 5th.
Oh,
Fifth?
LeBron James can't? You just watch. All those LeBron protectors.
But if
in
you
the
were
media,
MVP,
those
if he's the
idolaters.
MVP, right, that means he was tearing the West up.
Cooking.
You can't get the MVP without going to work.
No, he'll just be
So
doing
he's not
what
taking
he
a
always
year.
does.
He's not taking a year off. Then that's what I'm trying to tell you.
what will he be
He gonna
doing?
do what he always
no
do.
pressure to win.
Eddie.
So he probably play better then.
He gonna be.
Because you think he's.
Nobody can stuff that.
You know what he
stat
said
sheet
all the
like
time?
him. Nobody.
He
He'll
says
play
any
45
pressure.
minutes a
He
night.
ain't playing no 45
He
minutes.
will average 30. What do we got? 33. I'll give him.
That man ain't
33.
playing no 45 minutes.
Yeah, he
Skip,
will.
you say he doesn't perform under pressure, right?
No, on defense he doesn't perform.
You
at
say
all.
if it's a clutch, he's not. He
Well,
doesn't
he's
want to go
had
to
a
the free throw.
long,
So clutch
bad
is
history.
pressure, right? So he has no pressure. So he should play better this year. Then.
Yeah.
No mercy.
LeBron wasn't the only one who had Charles Barkley talking. In the same interview with Sports Illustrated, Barkley was asked about the Warriors' dominance and took an unprovoked shot at Kevin Durant, calling him, quote, a really nice guy trying to be a bad guy. He spends all of his time trying to prove to people how tough and bad he is. He's so worried about what other people say. We're joined once again by Eddie House. But Shannon, I'm going to start with you on this one. Do you agree with Barkley about Durant?
Skip, I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I just know maybe he wasn't the real KD in OKC. Maybe he felt where he was playing there, he couldn't be the person that he is now. Maybe this is the real KD. How do we really know? I mean, we think we know these guys. Granted, everybody's seen a turn. Kevin Durant didn't get, KD did not get this many texts in OKC. He did not get ejected from these games. It appears to me that KD's like, okay, before he went to Golden State, everybody saying he's the best player to never win a title. And then every time that he started having a conversation, they're like, you ain't got no ring, shut up. So Kevin Durant is saying to himself, hold on, wait a minute. I've won the last 2 finals. I won the chip. I've been the finals MVP. And y'all still find a reason to criticize me.
Yep.
He's not threatening to beat people up, but he will check you if you question him about his play, Skip, or you question him about his place in this NBA. I don't think Kevin Durant is tough. I don't know if he's acting tough. I just think that, he feels that somebody's trying to take advantage of him. They look at him, he think, man, move out the way. He's going to stand up for himself. Maybe this is the real KD. Maybe the guy the first 10 years in OKC wasn't the real KD. I said this about Ndamukong Suh when he had the Subway commercial, Skip. It's like, well, how can that guy be this guy on the field and that guy? I say the real guy you see is the guy on the field. The act is the Subway commercial. So maybe the act was OKC. Maybe this is the real KD, what we're seeing right now. You know him better than I do.
I think I do, but to your point, boy, it's tough. And my view of him changes almost by the day. But in the end, I think Charles, once again, he had a good day yesterday. He's right about this one. In the end, he's a good guy trying to come off as a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. I believe, Kevin, I always divide the world into you have a good heart or a bad heart. He's got a good heart. And yet, he's the strongest, weakest superstar I have ever observed because he struggles with this identity crisis of who am I? What am I supposed to be? And so then he had the shoe commercial, not nice Kevin Durant, because he wanted to send the message. I'm really a tough guy. I'm a bad guy. I'm not to be trifled with on the basketball court. And he went tech crazy his last 3 years in Oklahoma City, and now he's going ejection crazy last year. Had 5, and had 3 more than he had all his other years.
14 technicals, third most in the NBA.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And yet, in the end, I think he's a good teammate. And all I care about in the end on this show is, can you perform at the highest level when the stakes are highest and the lights are brightest? And he has performed in those 2 game threes and back-to-back finals at the very high, at a supreme level, level above LeBron, in LeBron's house. Twice in a row in game 3, he took over the crucial turning point game of those 2 series. Well, I can't argue with that. So I would have bet against him being able to back it up after he had the weight of the NBA world on his shoulders, and he left Russell and joined forces with a 73-win team that they had 3-1 down in that round of the playoffs, and yet he backed it up like nobody's ever backed it up before. So I applaud him for who he has become, and whatever he's become, again, in those 2 games, he was just better than LeBron James. That's all I know for sure.
He had to sneak that in.
Yeah.
Well, he was. But he was the Finals MVP.
He was
twice
definitely
in a row.
the Finals. I think I disagree with you saying that that was maybe not the act at OKC and this is the real. I think it's a maturation process and not him becoming a man, him becoming the man as far as winning championships. I think in OKC, what can I say? I'm a quiet guy. I don't have any rings. I'm going to go about my business. Russ is the guy that's the rah-rah guy. I've been kind of like, the yang to his yin. Yep. I've been kind of over here chilling, going to Golden State, winning the championship. Yep. I think he's starting to feel himself. He let them things hang a little bit, you know what I mean?
Oh, he's validation.
And so now he's feeling like I should be getting the same respect as LeBron.
Right.
And so I think that kind of bothers him a little bit. And as far as like being with Chuck saying he's a good guy trying to be a bad guy, I don't think that. I think at times he just has thin skin and makes bad decisions by going on Twitter and it's it's on both sides. I see both sides of the coin because he likes engaging with the fans.
He likes the interaction.
And having that interaction, and at times it can get him in trouble. So I think he has thin skin. He's a really good dude, and at the end of the day, he's feeling himself for what he's done, and he should be for his accomplishments that he's made in the last couple of years, getting to the finals, winning the finals, and winning the finals.
But a lot of great players have thin skin. And sometimes it takes that to get them to that place. Michael heard what they said. Even if somebody said, "Oh, he ain't gonna do that to me," well, Michael would go out of his way to try to drop 50. Okay, I'm gonna show you. LeBron Smith hit 35 on Jordan one night in a game. Jordan come back there with a back-to-back. Jordan dropped 35 on the half the next night against him. Bro, you're not finna show me up. And these guys what gets Kevin and if he's going back at an NBA player, okay, that's one thing. But a dude, a 17-year-old that wants to be an analyst can rile you up. That's something entirely different.
I'm not sure if he knows the age. I'm not sure if he sees a comment and says, let me go check to see how old this guy is or whatever. I think he just instantly responds and click. What he should do is due diligence, be like, oh, man, that's a youngster. I don't need to engage in that. But I think that's part of what he likes to do. And it also makes the people feel a little closer to him, connected to him. Like, he might respond to me.
That's what I've been trying to tell Skip. Skip, you need to respond to some of them followers.
I don't care what they say.
And
doesn't bother me a bit.
And again,
I lose zero sleep.
But I'm saying though, Skip.
I don't care.
See, you're not personable.
You're in the Hall of Fame.
I'm personable.
You're better.
Yeah.
You're above all
and
that.
they see me like,
Just
hey,
let it go.
they like, Shay.
No, he want to be petty sometimes.
No, they're like, hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, man. How you doing, man?
You just
They
want
say,
them to reinforce.
No, they're just like, you just a regular guy.
You need them
Just
to
a regular
validate
guy.
you.
No.
You need the validation.
You know
because
that-
you know you lose every debate on this show.
No,
so
no,
you need somebody to say, you're okay, Shay.
You know what I tell them, Skip?
What?
I'm an ordinary guy with an extraordinary job.
Oh.
That's what I tell them, and I am.
Well, that's heartwarming. That's
You know
that's
what,
like
Skip?
You're trying to win them over.
It ain't no American greeting. This is not no hallmark moment. I'm just saying, KD likes to engage. And then sometimes if they don't give him the validation that he feels he's earned, especially now, and rings do give you confidence, you can't start, whoa, you got nothing. Why are you talking?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he told
You know that's how that go in the room.
Now, because we got in the room, I mean.
Like, hold up, what you thought? You ain't got one of them things, right? Hey, this championship talk over here.
Yeah. Like,
You know, that's how that's how
like,
it goes.
right now, going on, got the ring, put on them. Man, where your ring? Man, it'll be a wind chime. I come at it like a wind chime, all them rings be changing around my neck, Skip.
Really?
I don't even wear them.
Aren't you going up to Canton?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be going early. I don't know. You gonna have a conversation.
You're going. Oh, really?
Yeah, be.
No, you can't miss. You're not granted a day off from the show. So you're going up to a Hall of Fame ceremony in Canton, but you're responding to a 17-year-old on Twitter.
Yeah, I respond to like 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds. I'm just a nice guy. They're like, Shannon's so nice. He's
Not
the
in the negative. You on the cool side.
Oh, I get him sometimes.
Oh, you get at him?
Oh, yeah.
You clap back?
Yeah. I told him I keep this joke tool on me.
So
You
where
keep one in the chamber?
where Kevin Durant lost me early on was during the not nice Kevin Durant campaign. I'm thinking maybe it should be the not smart Kevin Durant campaign, because during those days, I was his biggest fan. You know, once I'm somebody's fan, I'm just going to beat this death.
Sure will.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, he blasts me to the Oklahoma City paper, where I'm from, it's my hometown, just because I was getting on Westbrook for taking more shots than Kevin Durant. And I was just dumbfounded. And he went to the lengths of saying, I don't know anything about basketball.
Well, Skip, that's his
Wait,
boy.
I'm your biggest fan, but I don't know anything
But that's his boy. He got to take up for his boy.
Yeah, but it was just wrong-headed. You don't need to do that publicly, because in the end, they fell completely
Would you
apart.
want him to call you and say, well, Skip, man, I got to
Oh,
take
like
up for
I got
You
to
could
do
DM
this.
him, slide in his DM.
Yeah, but you wouldn't respond to him,
But then even worse, he wins the MVP and goes to the All-Star game and does the big media session, and he tells all these reporters who voted for him for MVP.
Y'all don't know.
None of y'all know a damn thing about basketball. He went all the way to a damn thing about basketball.
He did.
He might have
Seriously?
he was in a little crisis right there.
Yeah,
he was dealing with some things.
You want to talk about biting the hand that fed you?
He was dealing with some things. But when he was quiet, everybody was like, he's too quiet, too passive.
Yeah.
Now he's too aggressive. It's like, which one do you want him to be? Let him just be him.
How about be
As
you?
long as he a hooper.
Yeah.
That maybe that is him. Maybe you take a dog and corner the dog and keep messing with it. What are you going to eventually do?
Bite.
Thank you.
So you say Kevin has some dog in him?
Yeah,
I mean, of course, you
I
know
think
he
he's got
does.
big dog in
You
him.
know he does.
That's like my guy.
Huh?
He out in L.A., got plenty of
guy's
dog in
got
it.
no dog.
Oh, yes, he does.
He's a nice guy.
Don't do that, Skip.
He's the nicest guy
Don't
who
do
ever
that.
played basketball.
No, don't do that.
He is.
Don't do that. Skip.
No, I'm serious. He is.
guy.
He is
Yeah,
the
why you do-
nicest guy
why-
who ever played. That's his problem. He's too nice of a guy. There's no Jordan in him. There's no assassin.
I mean,
There's
it's only
no
one
cold-blooded
Jordan.
killer.
It's only one
I know,
Jordan.
but
Who
that's
got more buzzer beaters?
But come on.
You
please.
said he wasn't. At first, he wasn't clutch. Now he hit all these buzzer beaters.
Yeah, well, he had two. And one of them came after a goaltend that should have been called. And Indiana's just standing around looking
I
at
don't
each other
care
like,
when
wow,
it
how's
came,
that-
it came.
It came.
Oh, okay.
For real, I don't care when it came, it came. Tie game, down one.
That's what you said.
take the shit, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this was in his 15th year of basketball. He finally hit two. We don't have time because we need another 2.5 hours for me to go over all the failures,
Is you gonna
the epic
nitpicking?
fails of LeBron James.
But that's what Michael
That's
Jordan.
nitpicking.
Michael Jordan got a famous quote. He said, "I've succeeded because I've failed so many times before."
Do you remember the last shot in Utah? Do you remember?
No,
Wait a
that
second.
ain't his last shot.
Hold on.
His last shot wasn't in
Wizards.
Washington.
Yeah.
One that counted was he stole the ball from Karl Malone, dribbled it up the court. I still got the picture.
Dennis Rodman.
Scotty's over on the wing saying, "I'm open," and Michael says, "Nah." And a little push-off.
Ain't no little push-off, that's a foul.
A little push-off, huh?
Did he sign that for you? How you didn't get that
It's the only
signed?
piece of memorabilia I owned is this picture. And I got him holding the pose as the ball is swishing, and I got a shot from end zone to end zone, and I can see the faces of all those Utah Jazz fans, and they are horrified. They're like, he did it to us again.
Well, I'm going to get me one piece of memorabilia. I want the block.
You got to get that signed.
I want the block.
I probably
That's
could.
a good image.
I want the block.
Get that signed for
where the man's shoulders above the rim and he pins Iggy shot to the glass. That's the only piece of memorabilia. I'm getting rid of everything else. Really? I got a bunch of jerseys.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You gonna get the picture of that, or you gonna get the ball that he
I
blocked?
want the picture. I want him to sign it.
Which one?
The block.
The
You get
block.
the chase down.
We'll get JR to sign.
No, JR,
JR started.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No.
Well, JR did it. He
Yeah,
cut him
teamwork
off.
make the dream work.
Hold
Teamwork
on.
make the dream work. He got to cut him off. and
When
bam.
Jordan stole that ball from Karl Malone,
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman was guarding him.
But Jordan went behind him. He snaked him.
He
did.
He followed Hornacek through and he peeled back.
Yeah.
We saw.
Okay.
Malone fell for the banana in the tailpipe.
He did.
For the record, I'd take both of those photos. That would be great.
I know, right?
Side by side. Why not? Eddie, thank you for being with us.
No mercy.
Well, Cowboys training camp is underway here in California. Last year, Ezekiel Elliott ran for nearly 1,000 yards in just 10 games because of his suspension. But apparently, it's a new year and a new Zeke. Cowboys running backs coach Gary Brown said last year Zeke was stressed out, and this year he's, quote, happy and jubilant. Brown added that Zeke is in the right place mentally, and he's in much better shape than last year. Shannon, what will we see from Zeke this season?
I expect Zeke to have a monster year, Skip. I would be shocked if he didn't have somewhere between 350 and 400 carries. When they say they're going to make this offense more Dak-friendly, that means Zeke's going to have a heavier workload.
I'm with that.
They're going to run him,
Yep, I
and you
agree.
mentioned they're going to give him the opportunity to carry to catch the ball out of the backfield. So I expect him to catch the ball somewhere between 30 and 40 times a game, a lot more than what he did his first 2 years in the league. He's a special talent, Skip. And with the weight of, am I going to be suspended? Am I not going to be suspended? And maybe he didn't take off-season conditioning as serious as he needed to take it last year. Because when he showed up, I said, Skip, he looked a little heavy. He don't look like that guy that used to have his shirt rolled up and used to look like he got tennis balls in his stomach.
Agreed.
He didn't look like that. And I think it showed. But that was a lot to have on a young man's plate, especially what he was being accused of. He was basically fighting for his ability to play in the NFL, and he was fighting for his family and his good name. And but I expect him to have a monster year. DeMarco Murray's single-season rush record is in trouble. That of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That 1848 is in serious jeopardy because I believe he'll get somewhere between 350 and 400 carries a season, and he'll be somewhere between 4.5, maybe even 5 yards. So he could easily approach that 2,000-yard barrier. Zeke Elliott is going to be a monster this year.
Skip.
Thank you for opening that door for me because I'm going to run through the door you just opened. I'm going to go you several better on this one. I'm going to first remind you that we're approaching our 2-year anniversary here on Undisputed, our partnership. We welcome Jenny into the partnership.
Thank
but
you.
2 years on September 6th. Soon after we launched 2 years ago, I started predicting that Russell Westbrook would average a triple-double for that 2016-2017 season, and he did.
Correct.
So I'm about to make another prediction. I believe that if all goes well, and obviously health plays a bigger factor, bigger role often in football than it does in basketball, but if a bunch of people stay healthy for the Dallas Cowboys offense, including most of all Ezekiel Elliott, I believe he will break Eric Dickerson's NFL single-season rushing record of 2,105 yards. Eric, obviously a contributor here on Undisputed, will not like me predicting that, but I am predicting that because all the planets have aligned for this to happen this year in the Dak-friendly offense that you suggest. But I'm going to point out that year in L.A. for the Rams, that was 1984. Remember, that was 34 years ago that this record was set.
I remember.
It has endured for 34 years because in those days, it was more regular for a back, the lead back of the team, in this case, Eric Dickerson of the Los Angeles Rams at that point, to have more carries than the team threw passes.
Absolutely.
So he had 379 carries, and all their passers, and they had 3 different ones play, mostly Jeff Kemp out of Dartmouth University, which is why he was running the ball, but they only threw 358 total passes. So 379 runs to 358 passes. Wow, that's 21 more carries than passes.
But put that in perspective, Skip. That's only 700 total plays. That's only a little over 700 plays. Think about teams now, quarterbacks are throwing the ball 600 times, just throwing it.
Yeah, you're right about that. But you have to go all the way back to Eric in 1986, 2 years after this, to find the last time a single back, had more carries than the team threw passes.
Yes.
So that's 32 years ago. So for 32 NFL seasons, that's never happened.
No.
And I believe it just might happen with these Dallas Cowboys.
He's definitely capable of it, Skip.
Again, these Cowboys are receiver challenged at this point in time. It doesn't look great. Maybe, I've told you, I like Dak spreading the ball, reading, reacting, getting everybody 4 or 5 catches instead of throwing 12 balls toward number 88, who was leading the league in drops, Des Bryant.
Now, you know he's going to tag you in the
He's
post.
going to tag me, and here we go again. Sorry about that, Des. I did not mean to pile on. But the offensive line underachieved last year. They drafted Connor Williams out of the University of Texas, 6'6", 315 pounds. 2 years ago, in his sophomore year at Texas, he was first-team All-American at left tackle. He is now the starting left guard for the Dallas Cowboys. And in case A.Smith, who you always say, bad back, big trouble, right? In case he goes down or misses a few games, they will slip Connor Williams over to what they didn't have, which is a quality backup at left tackle. I think this line will come back alive this year and be the best offensive line in pro football, which is all going to lead to the breakout year for Ezekiel Elliott, because he had 1,631 yards as a rookie when he still didn't know how to play, and that rookie was carrying around a little pot belly, which we talked about. I brought it up right away. I don't like the look of that. A.Smith had a little pot belly, but he was a very different runner than Zeke is.
Yeah, he was built different.
Built different, built lower, built squattier, you know, duck inside those elephant offensive linemen, and you couldn't find him. But Zeke runs a little higher and a little stronger, and he will run to contact and through contact more than Emmett did.
Absolutely.
So in this case, I believe that Ezekiel Elliott will be on a Brady-esque mission to get even with the NFL for what I thought was an outrageously unfair 6-game suspension. Because I'm going to say it one more time. The NFL's Director of Investigations recommended no suspension after she was the only one in the league office to interview the accuser of Zeke, not 2 or 3, but 5 times. I think 5, maybe 6 times it was. Six times that she interviewed said accuser. She recommended no suspension, whatever. He was gone for 6 games. As you point out, it hung over them and him the whole year. I think it took a lot out of him because he was constantly talking to lawyers and going to court. And it's just not the way to prepare for football games, and then he missed 6 of them. And I believe, just like Tom Brady, after Deflategate, Tom came back on a mission. And I believe Zeke will say, okay, watch this. I'm seeing different things from him. I'm hearing different things from him. Again, he's the one that you say you got to keep the cell phone under your pillow because it might ring at 3:30 in the morning because you just don't know. So I will believe it when I see it, but so far I am seeing it. If anyone is capable of breaking that record, it is this young man because he is as special as they come at this position. He is rare. I'm going to say it again. At the end of his sophomore year, remember those last 3 games, Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin, 220 yards. St. Nick's defense, Alabama in the national semifinal, 230 yards, and then Oregon national championship game, 246 yards. This is special stuff. This is in rarefied air of running back.
But Skip, that would concern me because then I believe in order for him to do that, he's going to have to break Larry Johnson, the old Kansas City Chiefs running back, carries in a season. Now, that's going to be crossing the Rubicon. Now, you know he was never the same once he went to that 420. You're asking
Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson.
Well, I mean, you might use him up faster, but I'm just saying, whatever he has, I'm going to just let it fly.
Because that's
DeMarco Murray was never the same after 14.
And it's a rarity.
That's fine, but you at that position, you just have to let it fly.
Well, he wants a second contract, Skip. Okay. He saw Todd Gurley. What did Stephen Jones say?
But
Stephen say Zeke saw what Todd got.
I'm going to knock on wood on this one.
Okay.
But Zeke Elliott is LeBron-esque as a running back in that his durability is supreme. So far, so pretty great.
Yes.
because he broke his hand one training camp at Ohio State, but then he played the season. And early in his rookie year in the NFL, he had a hamstring issue, but it didn't persist. So as far as knees, shoulders go, so far, so good.
Yeah,
so great.
400.
I know.
I mean,
it's a lot of
400.
stuff.
And then if you say you're going to throw him the ball 30, 40 times, so you're going to be somewhere around 450, maybe 460, 70 touches. Man, that's an awful lot. And ED was 6'3", 225.
He was.
Zeke is 5'9".
No, he might be 6 feet.
6 foot what? 220?
225. He's put together pretty well.
He is Skip, but that's a lot of mileage.
So quickly, I looked back at 1984, and how did our man Eric Dickerson pull this off? Well, he started off slow. In week 3, he had 49 yards. In week 4, he had 89 yards. And you would have thought at that point,
no chance.
2,100 yards, break O.J. Simpson's record? No way.
But he went more.
But he had 2 200-yard games, 208 and 215. And in the 215 game, which was in week 15, he broke the record.
Right.
So he did it with 2 big games and then a whole lot of really good games.
Yeah.
And Zeke is capable of, to break it, he probably needs a couple of monster games.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have a couple of 200-yard games. Because in ED's rookie year, Skip, he went 1808. And then he followed that up with with fewer carries, because I think he had 404 carries in his rookie season, and then followed that up with 379 in the second season. But normally you start getting to that 400 threshold, Skip. I mean, Eddie George was never the same. TD had 392 for 2008. He was never the same.
Well,
look at Sean Alexander.
You know what? Maybe that suspension last year will turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to him. It saved his body for 6 games. And during those 6 weeks, according to our Eric Dickerson, because he went to visit him, he went to Cabo San Lucas, and he actually, dare I say, got in shape.
Well, he definitely looked better.
He came back and looked a lot different.
He looked a lot better when he came back than he did before he left.
Okay.
So I feel comfortable to say I believe he'll get DeMarco Murray's 1848. But I think
2105. So you need 2106.
So in other words, so what's Dak gonna do? Dak must be gonna have 1,300 yards passing.
It's a lot of pressure.
Just 50-50. That's all you need.
Skip.
Just break it down 50-50.
That'll be like some NFL record.
You have to throw it enough to keep 9 guys out of the box, right?
And that's the thing, because you know they're gonna sell out. And that's what's gonna make it so impressive. Zeke could easily win the MVP. He goes 1,800 yards, and everybody's got 8 guys, 9 guys trying to stop him. They have a decent record, 11-5. It's going to be hard for him not to win the MVP.
You don't think 10 guys were trying to stop Eric in 1984?
Yeah, but them.
Huh?
Yeah, that was just a magical season. It's just like the AP season of 2097. Christian Ponder did just enough, because remember that last game, every time they sell out, Christian Ponder, because he ended up having like 200 and 300 yards that last game against Green Bay.
Christian Ponder still threw it. I looked this up this morning. I can't remember the number, but he threw it a good number more times.
He was over 400 attempts, I think.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I could see 50-50. I could see this team being very difficult to defend, because once he gets cooking, he dominates.
That's what you hope.
Dominates.
But what about that anonymous scout? Hold up. What about that anonymous scout?
What about
the Giants?
Yeah.
You better pray for bad weather. That's what he said. And where walking to him gonna go? The Eagles. Hold on. Did the Eagles move out of the NFC East?
No.
What about the Giants?
I don't know.
So what they gonna be doing while Zeke doing all this running?
I got to tell you, Ezekiel Elliott is so good that he will transcend the Eagles or the Giants or the Redskins. He will transcend.
Fletcher Cox, you hear him?
He's just too good. He's just too
Michael
good.
Bennett.
You can all have, you
hear?
All come.
Malcolm.
Yep.
I like your
Bring
point
it all
about
on.
saying that he wants to prove something.
He
because, I mean, he wants to make a statement this year. And I hope he does, just for my sake, sitting between you two, talking about Zeke all year. No mercy. Le'Veon Bell is holding out from Steelers camp, but apparently he's still having some fun. TMZ posted a video of Le'Veon and his girlfriend hanging out at a Miami strip club on Monday night. Interesting place. But earlier in the day on Monday, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin called out Le'Veon, saying to CBS that he hopes Bell shows up to camp in better shape than he did last year. Okay, that video is the only video we can show you.
What whoa!
You can use your imagination.
Just be careful. Just be
on the
careful.
rest.
It's okay.
He had a girl with him. She was cool with it. I'm cool with
I
it.
can't imagine that was her choice. Shannon, but maybe it was. What do you make of all of this?
The Steelers could have avoided this situation by paying Le'Veon Bell, Skip.
Well, obviously.
And he'd have been in camp. He would not have.
Easy for you to say.
He would not have been there, Skip. But I heard, Jenny, the wings and the chicken tenders at them places, bang, bang.
You did not just, no.
Bang, bang.
We're not going for the food.
Steelers can fix this problem, Skip. All they had to do was just pay him. If they'd have paid Le'Veon, Skip, he'd have been in camp. And plus, they make it seem like the man was there at 10 a.m.
So wait, you're blaming the Steelers for him being at the strip club in Miami?
It's a free. Hold on.
Get it.
He might live in Miami. He might have worked out during the day, blow off a little steam during the night.
Possible.
Okay, what the problem is, Skip? Mike Tomlin knows how this thing works. Nothing gets you in football shape like playing football. So I don't care how many hill sprints he runs. I don't care how many wind sprints. I don't care how many parachute runs. Until you're out there actually playing football, that's what gets you in shape. Now, I was as conditioned as anybody, Skip. But guess what? When we put those pads on and those helmets on and we started having to play, I was tired, dog tired, because I didn't have on helmets and shoulder pads when I was training. So until you get into that environment, that's when you get in shape. Mike T knows how this is going to work. He's going to show up that Tuesday. Okay, let me take that back. That Monday before the first game, that Sunday, he'll show up. It's going to take him a week or two to get in shape, to get his football legs, his football wind going, and then he'll take off from there. Mike T, you know how this goes. You're not surprised. It's happened the last 2 years. So you should know how this thing plays out.
My turn.
Yes.
In and of itself, I got no problem with him going to that strip club with his girlfriend, without his girlfriend, whatever he wants to do, that's his business.
Yeah.
I'm not going to criticize it. I'm not going to condemn it. But I will comment on it in the context in which he is operating right now.
What do you do?
He is still negotiating with one of the cornerstone franchises of the National Football League, a very conservative organization known as the Pittsburgh Steelers, in a blue-collar, cold, tough town, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the look of that was a bad look for Le'Veon at this point in the negotiation.
Well, they can't negotiate now, Skip. He locked into that $14.5 million.
But you're still hoping that the ice will break and that you'll go forward with getting your money at some point.
They're not going to pay him.
You're sending the wrong message if you want to get paid for the duration. If you want that Todd Gurley, what was it, 4 years, 57.5 with $45 million guaranteed. That's a long-term commitment to Todd Gurley. And what did the Rams say about that commitment? It had a lot to do with his intangibles, with his behavior, with his leadership, with even down to his willingness to block.
And his age.
Okay.
So you wouldn't pay Le'Veon at 25. You wouldn't pay him at 26. You going to pay him at 27, 28? Probably not. This is why they didn't make that long-term commitment. So whatever, and Le'Veon says, hold on. This is my off time. He said, first of all, y'all got a problem with what I do, and do y'all realize who the quarterback is? Do y'all remember some of the behavior that he's partaked in?
All right.
So don't come to me with this holier than thou. And look.
Well, he's had his problems.
Yeah.
He's been suspended twice for his substance abuse.
And I think that has something to do with it also, Skip, because can we trust? Because you give this guy this guaranteed money, this big signing bonus. Okay, he got that. So unless you got, you get suspended, and they're going to try to, his agent's going to try to make sure they don't have to give anything back if a suspension were to come. But I do believe that this is what makes the Steelers hesitant to give him that long-term money.
Yeah.
Is because he's had those issues.
Thank you.
And I don't know if he's in or out of the program. He might be one strike away from being gone a year.
He might
be totally out of the program and scot-free. But for whatever the reasons, the Steelers said, nah, we're not here. We're not there, bro. Todd Gurley is, 23 years of age? That makes it a lot easier to giving somebody, that kind of money. Jen, I can't believe you scoff at that.
It is an image thing.
Make it rain.
Especially putting yourself in that position. If you're going to go, don't post it.
Yeah.
It's just dumb.
You sound like you speak from a lot of experience.
Make it rain. Skip, I can't make it rain. I make it hail. I throw a couple of coins up there, and that's all I got for you. But back in the day, make it rain.
No,
Skip,
making it rain.
Long time ago, Skip. I was young.
I wouldn't know anything about any of this.
Skip, you got to say you've been one time.
I've been a couple times.
Okay, you got to say you've been 100 times. I mean, if you go.
100 times.
Just don't post it on social media.
So Shannon Sharp,
Yes.
What do you think Art Rooney, the owner of the Steelers, of the noble Rooney family, the royal family in the National Football League,
They are.
he sits back. Do you think he watches video? He probably does. And what do you think he thinks? That guy wants me to bet about 50 guaranteed million on him. Really?
He said, that's what you're going to be doing with my money? LaBron said, yeah, once you put direct deposit. I mean, you be upset.
Do you have direct deposit yet?
I just got it.
You just got it.
I'm going to get Netflix. I'm getting Netflix.
You don't have email, but you do have direct deposit.
I ain't got email or Netflix.
Breakthrough.
But I'm going to get Netflix.
You should get Netflix. It's
get
worth it.
Yeah, it is worth it.
I can't believe y'all. Hold on. Once Fox put that money in my direct deposit account, if I want to go out there and drop a few, Skip. These girls, they going to college. They want to make something of themselves. I'm trying to help them.
That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, they need books, tuition, room and board, Jenny. You were college, but you got a scholarship, Jenny. You were lacrosse.
Not a full scholarship, but I wasn't doing that.
Okay, but I'm just saying, some of them, they're not fortunate.
Jen, you better be careful. You're going to alienate your partner over there.
I'm not happy right now. Not happy right now.
Happy.
It's an image thing. It's dumb. He's making himself look like he doesn't make good decisions.
He made great decisions. The food
On
is
the
good.
field,
The
maybe.
food good, Jenny.
It's not that good.
Jenny, are we going to Super Bowl this year?
I don't know.
We need to go to Atlanta.
Turn up.
Turn up.
No mercy.
Johnny Manziel will finally get his chance to prove himself in Canada. He's been named the starter for the Alouettes on Friday night, 10 days after getting traded to Montreal. Johnny hasn't started a football game since 2015 with the Browns, and yesterday he talked about his progress. Take a listen.
I felt like the thing I've been missing, even over the course of this year and the couple years is reps. And, as you guys have seen the last couple days, a chance to get with the ones and get some reps is what I feel like I really need and what I've talked to a lot of people about. So, I feel very blessed to be in this position, to be back in a situation where I'm starting again. It's good. It's a quick turnaround, but at the same time, I'm excited for, the opportunity.
I'm happy for him. But, Shannon, I got to go back to this. What % chance do you ever give Johnny of ever playing in the NFL again?
I'll say it's a 30% chance. We like a feel-good story, Skip. Johnny has hit rock bottom through self-inflicted wounds placed upon himself. And for him to go to the depths and somehow has to go to another league to bring himself back up. And I think NFL teams are looking for a reason to give him a chance. And that's what we're seeing here. Because we saw a guy in a very similar situation, never got another chance. And that's Jamarcus Russell. Skip, I believe Jamarcus Russell had more ability to just flat out throw the football than Johnny Manziel. He had some self-inflicted wounds.
Wait, Jamarcus had more ability than a whole lot of guys.
Exactly.
I mean, what was he, like 6'5"?
He was 6'6", about 250 pounds, and could throw the ball 100 yards. But he didn't study, he didn't care, and he ran into some problems off the field, and no one ever even gave him a second look. Canada never called. Nobody, Arena didn't even call. So for Johnny to have this opportunity, it shows someone is willing to give him an opportunity. And I believe the NFL will give him, if he shows he's somewhat competent over the next however many games they have, 7, 8, 9 games, however many they have, Skip. If he shows he's just somewhat competent, I believe an NFL team will give him a chance to come back in the NFL.
I'm not as bullish as you are. And I used to be the biggest Johnny fan, and now I am waiting and seeing. I'll go 20% chance. This is a big deal on Friday night because this is his second first impression that he's going to make with the NFL, because this game is on ESPN2. So NFL people will have an easy opportunity just to tune in for even a few minutes, check him out, see what he looks like, see how he handles himself. And it'll play. It will open eyes or close some eyes, depending on how he looks. Just what's your eye test tell you? What's your gut feeling on how he's comporting himself on the field? How does his body look? How does his arm look? That thing he went through in Austin was just, I think the competition was so meager, but this is another step up.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the NFL, but it's
close. It's
got some credibility to it. The fact that he could not beat out Jeremiah Masoli in Hamilton under June Jones was a red flag to me. Not off the field, on the field.
Right.
I just couldn't get it because Jeremiah Masoli, and they're only one game better. They've won, 2 games to 1 game for Montreal?
Correct.
So, I don't know. Now he gets a chance to wreak revenge on Hamilton because they're playing
That's what they play Friday
night. But, again, back to Jenny's point, he's missed 2 full NFL seasons, and he is about to miss a 3rd. Well, and I know, that's a lot of football.
Well, here's the thing, though, Skip, but he's actually playing. the past couple of years, there was nothing. At least he could say, "Well, I'm going through. I actually playing against competition." Had he not played at all this year, Skip, I think for all intents and purposes, it would have been over. But we've seen the NFL bring guys back that hadn't played in 5 years, so that's not out of the realm of probability, and we know the reasons why.
Right.
But I do believe, Skip, the NFL is looking for a reason because it's a great redemption story. Because it shows no matter how far you fall, if you can pick yourself up, show contrition, and get yourself right, the NFL will give you a chance.
He hit big bottom.
Yeah, no
bad
question.
Bottom.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anybody's hit much worse of a bottom with domestic violence on top of the drug issues.
Yes.
Whew.
And to not care. Normally, guys that you would think, Skip, if you're going to have those kind of issues, normally those guys are really good. They can play. They give you they make it very, very hard for you to move on from them. A la Josh Gordon getting 5 opportunities, Randy Gregory getting numerous opportunities. When you're supremely talented, they make it very, very hard. Johnny made it very, very easy because he wasn't showing anything, and then they saw how he was behaving off the field. In the meeting room, they're like, bro, we can't keep you around here for that.
So, I told you that it's been almost 3 months ago. I ran into Johnny here and ended up having a long talk with him. I was impressed with his fitness level because it was so much better than it used to be because he used to just mail that part in. He had gone to somebody's gym hard because he had a new hard body and his stature looked so different. He carried himself differently. And again, I'm not saying this is going to translate onto the football field, but he looked like a full 6 feet tall. And I'm going to say, I'm pretty good guessing weights. He was closer to 220 than his old 205.
Wow.
In a good way. He plays small because he's quick and he looks like a little guy when you're watching on TV. But he said all the right things in both Hamilton and Montreal. He's sort of acted the part and done all the right things in practice. Now can he play the part during the game, and then can he continue to play the part after hours? Because I don't know. I've defended him so many times. I told you I'm out now until he shows me for a long period of time that he can fly it straight and narrow. I'm just not going to trust him because you can't trust him anymore.
I agree, but the thing is Johnny is going to have to have to give a reason. If he were to get back, you say 20%, I say I'm going to give him 30%.
This is to start an NFL game.
That's Skip, but he's going to have to give the teams a reason to keep him. Every day he's going to have to show up to work to give them one reason to keep him.
Yeah, I promise you, his priorities in the past has been party, football. That's what it is. Seriously.
Party, football.
And football allowed party.
Right.
So he became the it kid at all the parties because of the Heisman Trophy.
Sometimes they lose sight of that. They think they're a celebrity.
Yep.
Actually, you're a football player. So don't lose sight of that. We've seen guys, Skip, sometimes get caught up. I'm a celebrity. No, okay. You're still that same person. What happens when the NFL goes away? Are the cameras do they still want you on a TV show? Do they still want you to do certain things? No.
This is an extraordinary talent. Quickness, strength, big play, creativity, just sort of natural, just make it up on the fly. Doesn't want to study, doesn't want to do it by the book.
Can't do that in the NFL, though, Skip.
Okay, well, we'll see because you're going to have to lock it back down now. You're going to have to show them you can make some throws from the pocket and continue to create plays with your legs, but they have to be on time and they have to work.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. Had Cleveland not traded back into the first round and do you think he'd have been a first-round pick? I don't believe he would have.
He seemed to be falling because I thought Jerry was going to take him at, what was it, like 16-ish?
Yeah. They took Zach Martin, right?
Yes. And that worked, man. We're talking about all-pro.
Yeah.
Like a perennial Pro Bowl player,
make the case he's the best guard in football.
You can make that case. So way to go, and Jerry had to get talked out of that. Okay?
Steven said, nah, Dad.
But he was falling, and then Johnny texted Dow Loggins, who was in the quarterback coach in Cleveland, who was at the war room table, and
Jimmy Haslam was
he walked down to the end of the table and said, look at this text I got from Johnny, which said, let's wreck the league together. I know that's a big mouthful of a statement, but Jimmy Haslam was like, hey, why not? What was, I forget, what,
22, wasn't it?
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
So falling. He probably would have fallen out of the first round because it's kind of sheep think on draft night where once you start to fall, most teams say, uh-oh, if they don't like him, maybe we shouldn't like him, right? So, one last point on Jamarcus Russell. I said before that draft, I did not love him, and I thought the Raiders were going to make a huge mistake because he threw way too many interceptions at LSU. Look back at the Florida game, all his big games, he threw a bunch of interceptions. But on prototypical talent, on measurables.
And do you watch him in the Sugar Bowl, and you watch him throw the ball, and do you watch him at his pro day?
Yeah. But it's what Al Davis used to love, bombs away.
Oh, yes.
He could do bombs away.
If he'd just cared, if he'd just studied.
Yeah.
If he'd just cared, just a little bit, he gave less than a D.
Yep, he did. And then the NFL completely, to your point, rejected him, and he didn't get a second chance.
Never.
Johnny's getting, he probably will get a second chance. But Friday night's a big deal to show them that he still got some game.
Right. And he has had the lowest of lows. And I remember I was over talking about him, the news, but I am rooting for this guy. For Friday night, I really hope.
Jenny, you root for everybody.
No, not
you
everyone.
Okay.
I don't root for, I'm not going to talk about it.
Whoa. Shannon, there's a problem.
I don't root for Le'Veon's actions that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Trouble in paradise.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. We're back at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.